What's good, ladies and gents? DKB here, and my question for you guys is, will we see Joe Douglas in the 2023 NFL Draft pull off his first trade down, at least in terms of the first round? If you leave it up to his old best friend, Todd McShay, that answer seems like it would be a yes. So Todd McShay, to start it off, believes the Jets are going to be a likely trade back candidate. And we've said that in various years, but we've had the luxury of a numerous amount of picks. This is the first draft that Joe Douglas has taken over where we don't have an abundance of picks in multiple rounds, especially in the first 2 days of the draft. And so this could be prime time for us to go ahead and make a move back. And I think another important person on the team, and Rex Hogan, the assistant GM, we covered his comments about the Senior Bowl and what he was seeing, and he mentioned that he doesn't think there's necessarily top elite tier talent, but he likes what he's seeing throughout the draft. And obviously he was there for the Senior Bowl, but I think that same thought process can follow for the rest of the candidates that are going to be available for the Jets. So trading down, Joe Douglas, if you haven't picked up on it, he's never traded down in the first round of any of his first 3 drafts. Mekhi Becton was his first kid. Then we draft Zach Wilson, and then we go Sauce Gardner. And at least on the side of history and what we've seen so far, each one of Joe Douglas's draft classes has gotten better and better. 2020 draft, again with Mekhi Becton, has struggled up until this point, whether due to injury or performance. And then his most recent class, we see him come away with 2 players of the years as rookies in Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. And to be honest, you could probably say technically 2, because Breece Hall seemed like he was going to quote unquote run away with the award very, very early and never look back. And then you still have some guys that could make huge leaps in year 2. Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens, Jeremy Ruckert could find himself getting some actual playing time next year. So things have been set up very, very well for the New York Jets. Now, there was an interesting trade proposal that was put out there. It was brought up by National Scout for Cover 1, Russell Brown. And this is between the Commanders and the Jets. So Joe Douglas in this scenario would officially trade down. The Commanders owned the 16th pick, so they would move up to our 13th pick. The Commanders would be giving us pick number 16, pick number 97, pick 118, and pick 193, which basically means we're swapping around 1 picks. We're dropping down three selections. We're picking up a 3rd rounder, a 4th rounder, and a 6th rounder all this year. And it seems like the trade makes sense. So according to the NFL trade value chart that a lot of the teams generally follow, our pick is worth 1,150 points. The Commanders' total of picks that they packaged up will be 1,182.6 points. And for guys that aren't familiar with kind of the trade chart and all that, each pick essentially has a designated total for it. That can always change, depending on what blue chip prospects are out there and various other elements. But ultimately, when it comes to a trade, for people that are questioning why isn't it equal, generally that's going to be hard to do, to see something match up exactly. Also, when it comes to an NFL team, if you're going to trade a high value selection or any selection in general, you generally should be the winner, right? If you hear anybody talk about negotiation tactics and contract talks and all that kind of stuff, if it feels like both sides settled and they won something, then somebody probably lost, right? And so if you're the Jets, you do want to come away as a winner. And I think this is a huge deal for the New York Jets. Not only are we not moving down a huge amount of picks, not only are we not losing a lot of draft status in terms of, dropping down to the low 20s like I did in my mock draft, but this opens the door for potentially another trade, and it's not unforeseen. You see teams like the Patriots and the Packers don't mind moving down multiple times whatsoever, and those teams generally are going to be playoff caliber teams anyways, and so you can start to see a shift maybe into that thought that we want to maximize the amount of selections we have in the draft. Now, the beautiful part of this, again, we're staying in the same range of picks, and so depending on who the Commanders want, And for comparison's sake, again, when I did my NFL mock draft, the Buffalo Bills ended up picking wide receiver Jackson Smith in Jigba, whatever his name was, from Ohio State. Maybe the Commanders are looking at the same thing. Maybe they want to give Terry McLaurin some more assistance out there with Jahan Dotson. Who knows, whatever the situation is, though. But even if they go tackle, I think talent-wise, the pool that's there in the first round to second round is so similar and so somewhat close that you can still go out and get, essentially whoever you wanted or somebody that's very, very, very close. And I still have my eyes on a guy like DeJuan Jones from a size perspective. If you want to talk versatility, Peter Skoronski. And if you want to talk about versatility, intriguing skill set, and elite athleticism, a guy like Cody Mock could be like a sneaky pickup addition if they do want to try to trade back again, or if they just want to select the guy that they fell in love with. So I don't know. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. So dropping back 3 picks, we are picking up an additional 3 selections for 2023, and we still could potentially go out and get the guy that we want. Would have wanted at 13. So I think it's an absolute huge win. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the trade and who you guys would potentially select at 16, assuming we didn't try to trade back again. Catch you guys again. Peace.